Hello everyone, this is Gośka and I'm starting my career today as the Google Forms survey instructor. So we are going to look at the Google Forms as a very useful and free of charge tool for registering for online events, but also creating surveys or questionnaire for your participants or any audience that you might want to reach. And in case you are a beginner in Google Forms, I would invite you to have a look at some Google Forms tutorial beforehand. One option is to have a look at the Simplicity channel on YouTube, which has very good tutorials on Google Forms. Or you simply visit the forms.google.com website, where apart from your desktop with all the forms that you created in the past, you will get help and tips. But here we go to a bit more advanced level, and let's have a look. I prepared here a survey for SEI Inspiration Days, an event which I just invented, but who knows, maybe in the future it will take place. And in the survey, I would like to ask for the participants' name, surname, email address, country for statistical reasons, and also I prepared a program for people for which people can apply, and people can just mark some sessions they want to attend. Then at the end there is a privacy note. In order to submit the form, you are obliged to click yes, I agree, and people can submit. The problem is, however, this form could do much better. The main problem I see that my event has multiple days, many sessions, all 12 in total, and we could imagine inspiration days with maybe 24 or 30, and it's very difficult to read through the schedule. I might be there with my calendar going, okay, Friday 10 o'clock here, Friday 2 o'clock, etc., etc. It's not very clear, and I would like to maybe improve it. So let's go to the backend of our sample registration form. Oh, some responses received, but we will anyway alter the form. This question I don't like. I will simply delete it and make a better one. So I delete this question. Oh my God, so much of my work has just been lost. And in this new question, I still can ask, please mark which sessions you planned to attend, or maybe even you commit to attend, but it's up to you which option you choose. And then I want to have a checkbox grid, but also I have a very nice program of this event that shows in a much more visual way what's going to happen. So here, Google Forms allows me to upload a picture, and I will do it because I think it will be much more user-friendly when people have the overview of the program in a way, visual way that they are used to. So it's right here. And it's a basis for what will happen next. So here we see Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, 4 days of inspiration, Monday afternoon, evening, and some names of workshops. Now, I will want in my grid to have the following rows. I want to have Friday, 30th of October, then the next day of our inspiration days is Saturday. The next one is Sunday, and the last one will be Wednesday. In columns, I will say morning and then times, And always the time zone, because remember, for online events, it's really not clear in which time zone the event will take place. And here we just have the evening left. Okay, let's have a look what comes out of it. If we now have a preview of this form, has it changed? How has it changed? Of course, normally when you create forms, maybe take 2 or 3 seconds more to really analyze if you haven't done any mistake. Okay. I see that I could do a bit better with the image. It's maybe a bit too small font. I now increased, like I zoomed in now, so now I see it better, but it's just, to be honest, like in my case, I just used a print screen of a Word document. So for sure you could have better quality here. But apart from that, we have a grid where people can simply say, okay, I will attend this session, that one, here, and this one. Or maybe in what could be even more perfect, if you have a look, if you compare the picture and the answers here, what can be a bit misleading? I hope you already guessed, but the answer is here, in fact, it's morning, afternoon, evening. It would be easier if morning, afternoon, evening goes on the left side and the days go on that side. So in this case, we would have to make rows being morning, afternoon, evening, and the columns being Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So make sure that the logic follows the program that you are presenting. And then it's very easy to take the answers for the people, and they don't need, like, it's visually much more brain friendly. But what else could be the right way to really allow people to have the most flexibility as possible? You need to go to options. And in case you want respondents to be able to change their choice after they submit the answer, you click here, edit after submit. But what is important in this case is that people know that they can edit after submit. So in some way, you need to let them know that, look, if you change your mind, please re-register, or change, not re-register, meaning fill in the form one more time, but go back to the form, and how to let people know that they can do it. One thing is that of course, you can mark it somewhere in the form description, or maybe in the invitation, or maybe in some kind of a reminder. But also here under the presentation, you can add it in the confirmation message. Thank you very much for registering. Happy to meet you soon. You will get a reminder, in case you change your mind, edit your response. Safe. But hey, somebody can say, actually, people don't keep the link to editing the response, because normally what happens if you fill in such a form and you click submit, you will get possibility to edit the response, but you will not be able to access the form if you have not saved the link. And come on, who does it? So one more thing to make the user's life easier and your life easier is to collect email addresses. So you click here, then click response receipts, and that you always want people to get a response receipt. What will happen if you tick those options? It's an email will come to the inbox of the participant of your event or the survey respondent, and there will be also a nice big button saying edit your response. So you can make sure also in the registration form or in the invitation for the event for the people to keep their registration message, because then they can always edit their answers. And even if in the meantime in this form you add some new workshops or new fields, when people click on the edit button, they will see, oh, there is a new thing appearing, and they will be able to insert their choice. So it's very good, especially with events where you don't know if the workshop will take place or not. Maybe something will change, and just perfect way. Remember only that the rows and columns need to be in the most brain-friendly place, so they in the same logic as you have your image. What else you might do if you want your registration to look nice? Maybe, let's say I would like to add one more question, and I simply want to say at the end of the event that I will be happy to meet you soon. So not really a question, but just a message. Maybe in this way. Wait. I would like to add not a question. Let me delete it because I don't want people to add answers. But maybe I just want to add an image. So this is another option here on this site. Of course, I could ask people, how excited are you to meet me? Very excited, extremely excited, and that's it. But let's upload some nice picture that is showing how colorful our event will be. And here we can add, we are super happy to meet you soon. There is a picture showing how nice the event will be. So here, if we have a look at the preview, we go down the form. So people fill in, click, click, click. And then there is this nice, super happy to meet you soon. And there is the privacy notice just to finish with everything. You can also upload a video. For example, at the beginning of the form, you can say, welcome to our survey or our registration. Before you start filling in the survey, please listen to 3 most important points, etc. And what else might be useful for you? Maybe there is a special event and you want people to attach their motivation letter. So you add a question, maybe one, we just shuffle the order here. One more time. Yes, now it looks much better. And we say, please add your motivation. So of course, it might be that, well, Google analyzes the text, so it knows already we want a paragraph and long answer text, but maybe we want people to attach the motivation letter. Please attach your motivation letter. And in this case, we will want people to upload files. So we choose file upload here, and Google really asks us, do you really want it? Because, you know, some people might use it for some scam messages, maybe for a virus, maybe just to make fun. And all the files that people upload, they will end up on your Google Drive in its main folder. So there will be a folder created with the same name as the name of the form, and then all the files will end up there. But okay, we are brave, or we just share the content of the form, the link with people that we trust, like people from SCI, for example. And still, maybe we can allow only specific file types. Maybe we just allow for documents and maybe PDFs. And just one file is allowed, 10 megabyte each. And the form can accept up to 1 gigabyte of files. You can change it, but only for bigger sizes. Let's have a look here. 10, 100, and even more. Wow. No, I don't think I will use that much of the disk space, but still. And let's make this question required. What else might be useful for you? Maybe your inspiration days have only 100 places or 500, and you are afraid too many people will register for the event. And you can use specific add-ons like external apps that help you to limit a number of recipients that are accepted for the form. For this, you go to this menu, the 3 dots, the hamburger menu on the right, and you click on add-ons. And you will see a number of external apps or additions, add-ons, that were developed for Google and Google Forms specifically, and you can use them often free of charge, sometimes also paid version if you go over some limits. And there is one add-on that might be useful for us. It's just loading slowly. Voila. So you might use Form Limiter, a very well-rated app that allows you to set a maximum number of responses and also set, for example, a date or time after which the form will expire. You might also have a look at other apps here. So there are some things like Certify Them as an add-on that allows you to automatically generate certificates to anybody that fills in the form. So if you make a quiz or a test for your users and you want them to receive a receipt or just congratulation letter after they click submit, this might be a useful add-on. There are some others like email notifications for forms, but I don't use this one because what I do, if you want to get an email notification whenever you receive a response, you click here, the 3 dots, and you click on Get Email Notifications for the responses. So one more time, here now we have it enabled. So with the add-ons, one is you install them, there will be a new icon appearing on your Google Forms dashboard, and you will be able to choose the one that you want to run it and to set the limits that you want for your form. I also have Form Approvals add-on. It allows to create workflows. For example, if in your project you have an expense limit, or maybe you have some way of approving expenses. First, it needs to be the project coordinator, then the accountant, and then somebody. And before you make any purchase, you need 3 people to say yes. You create a form for expenses, and you set a specific workflow in which, after you say you fill in the form saying that you want to buy a computer for 500 euro, then the form will end up on the desktop of first the project coordinator. They will approve it, then it will be the accountant, and then I don't know, the final person, the main boss, who will say yes, you can buy it. And then the first person asking, so the user who filled in the survey, will get a notification, go on with your purchase. So the form approvals is not good for, or not very useful for webinar or event registrations, but it's very interesting for you to use during your work on a project. If you are using Google Forms, you might be also asking yourself, oh, if I have a long text here, can I press enter to make it more reader friendly? So that it's not one paragraph but more. But when I'm pressing enter, nothing happens. When I do some other shortcuts, it still doesn't work. And trust me, I spent maybe 45 minutes trying to find an answer to this question. And it seems it's really not possible unless you are a programmist, you created some script, you add the script to some secret place in Google Forms, and then maybe, yes, you will be able to have simply and spaces in between, breaks in between the text. But really, if you don't have a PhD in programming, then I think you just need to live with this and simply maybe decide how, if you have a very long text, maybe to break it in between a few bullet points. For example, yes, I commit to this thing, I commit to that thing, or even add the text as an image. You might be also asking yourself, can I create a form that will translate itself automatically into many languages? And the answer is that with Google Forms, you are not able to translate it automatically into various languages. It's possible with some other providers, but they are usually not free of charge, like JotForm. And still, your user can have Google Translate help installed, so they can translate the whole page. Usually, when they right-click, they have like translate into the English, and then you can change the name, and not English, but I don't know, Catalan, let's say. So choose another language, but I don't want to Google Translate, not really. So I will just close it. It's also possible that you create a first question. Let's say here we add a question. Did I add one? Where is it? Is it thinking? Yes, even too many questions added. So here, our question, we want it at the very, very beginning of our form. I should have been smart and simply create the question in a different way. So maybe I can even show you that if I have, let's say, this question marked now, and if I say add question, then the new question will appear just under. So this is a smarter way to add questions. Otherwise, they can get at the very end of the survey. So here I want to ask what, or maybe simply choose your language, or choose the language in which you will be filling in the form, and you will have a drop-down menu. And then you will just choose some languages that you allow to have the form filled in, and still to move it to the top. Hey, here. And then what you can do, I will not show you because it will take time, but you can create sections in your survey. So then, depending on what people answer in this drop-down menu, you will create different sections. A section with just English answers, just Catalan, just Albanian. And depending on what people answer here, they will be taken to the right section with the right language. But it's you who needs to prepare all these sections and to translate all the questions, to copy them, and then translate into the different languages. And then you end up with the survey being filled in with multiple languages. Just make sure you speak Catalan or Albanian before you go for this option. I think this should already help you to create beautiful Google Forms. Well, if you want to beautify them even more, then you have this option of customize theme to add the header, the color of the form. Maybe you prefer to go for the green. Maybe you prefer the background color to be a bit different. Maybe you want to choose another font style, but just be careful because Google proposes some terrible, well, artistic fonts. But if you choose these ones, hey, come on, you see what happened? It's really impossible to read, especially on the phone. Ah, that's really bad. No, I cannot live with it. Just remember that nowadays, 90% of the users, 90% of the online traffic is from mobile devices. So it should be something easy to read, especially on a small screen. So one more time, if you want your form to be smart, think of the way how you structure questions. For example, instead of long lists, you can add an image with your program. You can allow users to edit the answers after they submit. You can also make participants know how that's or help them to edit their responses, and how you do it. You choose this option, collect email addresses, response receipts, and always the recipient will get the email that will be with a big edit button and also on all the answers so that they provided. Here you can decide how your confirmation message will look like. So for example, you can have this text in case you change your mind, edit your response, or you can have a bigger message saying it somewhere in the middle in the text of the form. Yeah, you can show link to submit another response. If you think there will be a few people using the same computer, you can show the progress bar if it's a very long form and you want people not to be that nervous. And all this can make your form a much better experience. So this will allow you to have a really smart survey. And you know, the first impression counts. So if you prepare an online event, this registration form will really make people like, wow, this is very good experience, smooth, easy, and it's a nice beginning of something bigger. If you are creating a survey that is not for registration, but maybe just a questionnaire, you will have a better chance to get your users finish the survey and click on submit. So good luck with your journey with Google Forms or any other types of online forms. Thank you.